All right, so symmetry in um, Tinkercad. When we think symmetrical, we can think, well, we got to think about an axis, and we can look this up. We can find some images of some symmetrical shaped buildings and architectural structures, and you can see if I was to look at Taj Mahal here. A lot is happening over here, but the same thing's happening over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop into Tinkercad, and I'm just going to show you how to make things perfectly symmetrical because that is something that can go unused, um, or you can try and line things up by a site, and that won't work. So I'm going to just hop into a new design real quick, and I'm just going to show you some of the tricks we can use to line things up horizontally and vertically, and then put them together using the align tool. So first things first, we're going to take out a shape. Doesn't matter what shape it is, but we're going to take this shape, and so that we can see that we're making something, uh, you know, what do you call it? Uh, Symmetrical. We're going to put some stuff on here so that we can really tell. And we'll duplicate that up and move that, and we'll condense that too. Okay, so first thing, let's say I want this aligned into the middle and aligned into the middle here. Um, and that looks pretty good. If I looked at this very closely, I would see that there is a gap there. You see? And we wouldn't necessarily want that. So to clean that up, there are a few ways to do that. You could just go in and adjust the dimensions of everything. Or I'm going to do the super fast way, and that's just to take a whole and then select all and group it. Now we have a flat surface there, but I can see there's a gap on that side too, so we can do that. And you could look at the measurements too and do it that way. You would have the same result. And in some cases, as we get more advanced, the measurements will be important. And I didn't get it there. So it looks like these two are um, the right width, but since they're all grouped together, I won't be able to see what the, um, the size is there on the base. But in this case, we'll just take all that and do this. Okay, so now we have a flat, we should have a flat surface here. But it doesn't look like we did. Let's see what's going on. Ungroup. So let's take this whole, and let's take that. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this whole thing and we're going to duplicate it. And we're going to move it here, and I want to move it so that it's not in line. Note that if we look at it from the back, sometimes you won't see the object behind it because, remember, it's further behind, so you won't see that it's off. So if you're just using this tool to look around, you're not going to see that they're not in alignment. So it's really important. You could use this cube to do this. You can do the control click method, but make sure to look from multiple angles before you say that something is in alignment. So now at this point, what we can do is we can align this to the center. And once we do that, because these shapes are both the same size, they're aligned. So now we can take these shapes and we can duplicate them. And remember, if we rotate this 90 degrees, we can be fairly certain that that is also in alignment with each other. It will be. And what's nice about that is um, it's symmetrical because we've rotated it 90 degrees, and this is perfectly symmetrical. Um, if we wanted to make something and add something in that was also more unusual, um, and make it symmetrical as well with regards to this, we can do that. Um, if we take this object, now at this point, we know that these four objects should be one object. So now this is one object that we know is symmetrical. So now let's take this, and we want this cube to be aligned with this side of this object here. So what we're doing is we've put this cube here. Now we're going to duplicate it. We're going to move it around to this side. Now you'd want to get these distances correct between here and here. But if we know that this side here is perfectly aligned with this side, we can double check, but it looks like it is, we can group that together. And now we can take this side and align. That's not working. Because we have this cube up here. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Troubleshoot. Watch what we're going to do. Because this might happen to you. You might be wondering, why can't I get it? Okay, so I think I figured out a solution. So this is not grouped with this anymore. Because we want both of these to be in line with each other, let's start with, let's call this the horizontal axis from the top view. Let's use that and take both of these blocks and align them center. Okay. Now, those are in alignment. Now what we can do, and instead of just duplicating these, which would be what I would recommend, duplicate and then rotate 90 if I wanted 4 more of these, like that. Now I know that those are in alignment too. That would be the easy way to do it, but let's say we didn't do it the easy way. What we can do, because we know these are aligned, we can group this whole thing together now, and we can take another cube, just so we can see it. We'll make this one small. And what we want to do is we want to make this one in alignment with another one in the back. Okay. Now we can take all of those and align those center. And at this point, we have all of this in alignment. Always think about where we're aligning. If we wanted those two cubes to be at the far end, we can align to the back or the front, however you want to look at it. We can put them here. But think about the entire line, because if you start with just one side, like this, and you try to align it center, it's going to center it off of the furthest left point and the furthest right point. Something to take into consideration as you're building these things out. So that's alignment. That should give you a little direction. You've seen where I actually made a mistake, and learn from it. Don't do that. Okay. Alignment will help in many of the things you print. So continue working through it and experiment.